simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the Grotto with Greg Hanna. Greg, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Neil. Thanks. Been an awesome week. Pretty excited to talk to the brother of a pretty woman.
Absolutely. But again, I'm going to flat out say Eric Roberts. Second time I've had you on the show. I got to interview with your wife. Your wife is amazing. Thanks again for stopping by, Eric. We're going to talk about trust and love. And I viewed the film and we'll talk about it throughout this conversation. And it broke me into tears. I laughed and I love the music and it's a great story. But go ahead, Greg, with your first question for Eric.
Yeah, thanks again, Eric, for stopping by. What's the premise of the movie Trust and Love and about your character?
Well, Trust and Love is kind of complicated to take apart, but it deals with love and conflict that are important subjects that never cease to be important to look at. And the role I play is that of a guru who has an alternative to everything in life. And it's funny, I seem to be playing a lot of gurus lately. I have to think about why. But Trust and Love, so we don't, forget, it's going to be available very soon.
Yeah, when I saw Eric from your character, as I'm going to jump into specifically your character before we go into more in the story, what I really enjoyed was the fact is when you come on camera, there's something about you that you're intimidating as can be. When I interview you, you're not intimidating, but the way anything, especially when I start seeing you in some more evil things. Greg, he is one of the most scary villains in some of the different shows I've said. I said, and then I get to talk to him offset. But when the camera light goes on, there's something about Eric Roberts. And that character, when the light comes on as a guru, how did you come up with that idea, that guru?
Well, we've all known people who think they're perfect. And we've all known people who know they aren't perfect, but pretend to be perfect. So it's a combination of that. And especially in show business, we get a lot of egomaniacals in our industry, as you know, and this guy has that under the surface.
Eric, do you have any idea why Jim Petula wrote this movie?
Well, I'm only guessing because I'm not in his mind or his reasoning, but I think it's to expose the non-essential of what this is about. Yeah.
Yeah, and more to go into that point of the non-essential is the fact that the craziness of a divorce, that because I just finished a divorce.
I'm sorry.
Lived to understand that process and the attorneys. So I was laughing and getting angry at the same time watching the film because I'm looking at the divorce and saying, oh man, those attorneys, all they care about is making money. There's nothing else in this. And, when the main character was interviewing all these different attorneys, then go to therapy, you have anger issues. You're about to lose the person you love so much or have gone through so much pain. You're not going to have anger issues. That's the thing, Eric, that's like, are you kidding me? And that's what people do is you don't show your true colors. You got to show some anger when things are really going wrong for you. And this character was told, no, keep your feelings in. No, you just eat it. And that's part of that story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well said. I don't know what to add to that. That's perfect.
Oh, thank you, Eric. I've been starting to watch the movies. Go figure, right? And it just helps you. But I definitely people need to check it out. But the music's fantastic in it. Eric does a great job. And we're going to talk some more.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Greg. Next question.
So Eric, what do you hope that people that watch this film get out of it, and specifically your character as well?
Well, we all have insecurities. We all have not quite the education we ought to have in certain areas. And this is about all of that. It's about the human condition. It's about frailty. And if you don't take care of yourself, somebody will take care of it for you, and it may not be good. So you have to learn to take care of yourself and not to have excuses to do something wrong. And I think my guru is a bit of a mistake,
No, he's a definite LA therapist.
Yes, he is.
I'm not going to play an animal right now for you, Eric, with my anger, right? And go around. That's something people have to check in the film.
Okay.
No, thanks. I'm not going to go play an animal for sure. And I think that the thing that is, it's all about love at the end of the day, Eric. And that's, I think, that we have to look at in life is that if we don't do things for love, and the main character is trying to do that for his wife, and wife not understanding the hard hours and work that he was putting in was for her. And she didn't understand that to see the time he's put in his family and all those different things. And I think that's the missing component. We all make changes in our lives and move forward, right?
I think you're right. I think this is an oversimplification, but I think it's perfectly truth. And that's this. The Beatles said it best. All you need is love. And if you have love, you can overcome everything, but you have to love. You have to give love. You have to receive love. You have to share love, because love is for all of us and we all need it to live.
Absolutely. Definitely. Let's go ahead, Greg, with we can start asking some Eric Roberts questions. We have you some more time. Anything else to add? People need to definitely check out the film. It's going to be available. What date, Eric?
Was that a question?
Yeah. Would you know when the date the film's going to be available? I think it's in the mid-August. And
You'll
yeah.
have to ask my boss.
Okay, I'll have to ask your boss and we'll go back and put that in. So let's go ahead, Greg. Any other questions for Eric?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions. Eric, what made you want to get into acting? How was it having Julia for a sister? I mean, stuff like that.
Okay, which question first?
All right. How did you want to get into acting? What made you do that?
Well, as a little boy, I had a terrible stutter. And you know how you go around the room in like first and second grade and everybody reads a line or a paragraph. Well,
Yeah.
they'd get to me and I would stutter and the class would laugh. It was so humiliating and so hard for me. But I found out I would count the people, count the lines, find my line. I would memorize it and then I could say it. So that was my first acting, was in class having to read. And then I told my dad, if I learn what I'm going to say, I don't stutter. And so he put me in an acting class, and that's when it all started.
That's really
great.
amazing.
And the other question was about my babies.
Yeah.
And the other question was about my baby sister.
Yeah. There was.
What do you want to know about Julie?
What was it like, having her as a sister growing up and then, having her get some great fame going?
It was fun. She was always a lot of fun and very funny. And she made a few movies she was great in, and then made a movie that went through the roof and made her the biggest star in the world for many years. And I love Julie like I love my life, all day, every day. I think she's cool.
And Eric, I think that people don't understand, you were the star before Julia, with some of the stuff when your career, when you started.
But see, we were never in a contest for stardom. I was an actor who got famous. She wanted to be a model, but then saw my life and went, I want to act. And I said, okay. And I put her in a movie with me playing my baby sister to get a Screen Actors Guild card. And then she did all the rest herself. And she's a wonderful actor and a wonderful mother and a wonderful sister, and I like her.
That's fantastic. What else? What do you have in other projects coming up that you have under wraps, or that's coming?
Okay, you're asking a huge question, and you have to go to imdb.com to get that answer, because they know about me better than I know about me. And I have about 60 things in the oven. Probably 10 of them will come through, but I don't know what they are yet.
And Eric, what do you think, keeping the work, being a working actor, what do you think that it makes it so you constantly are working hard and getting the opportunities in so many amazing shows, and you're seen everywhere, it seems like, Eric, in so many ways? What keeps you being such a great working actor that keeps getting lots of great roles?
Well, every day I am asked to teach. So when I'm not working, I've gotten together with my wife and we teach, and we call it the working actor, because to be a working actor is many things. You're always working, but you're also always working on your acting. I read stuff. I read a script every single day of the year. And I'm just one of the lucky ones. You know, when they took film, excuse me. Excuse me, could you close that door, please? Thank you. Okay, where were we? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were talking about working actor. Every day you're reading a script. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and you just have to realize that acting isn't something that you do offhand. You have to get in it. It's like welding. You don't weld with one hand and glancing. You concentrate, you focus. It's the same thing. Only the better the actor, the easier it looks. So the better the actor, the more it invites other people to try it because it looks so easy. But it's only easy because you've mastered it a bit.
Wow. He's mastered it, especially as a villain. I'm scared of Eric as a villain. And I'm 6'10", 280 pounds, former pro wrestler. And I'm afraid if I would have to get in front of you with some of your villain characters.
You are so silly.
That is funny. I love it. But it's true, you know, Eric's got that amazing poker face, and then he pulls out this voice that, where did that come from? It's scary. It's good.
So
it's
funny. My grandfather and my father and I all had the exact same vocal tone to our voice. We could be either three of us on the phone.
Oh man,
yeah, it's funny how that worked.
Eric, what's the favorite movie of yours that you acted in?
Well, that's a big too, because I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies. So I have many favorites: King of the Gypsies, Star 80, Runaway Train, It's My Party, Love is a Gun, and Purgatory. That's about 1% of my movies, and that's my favorites. Cool. Those are my favorites.
Okay. I have you in favorite on certain shows when you were a bad guy in Suits. You were vicious in Suits. That's and Suits is making another big run. You know that, right, Eric? Or are you going to make a return?
I do. I get stopped by people I do not expect to stop by. I've been watching Suits, and they love the show. Yeah, it's reborn.
It's reborn, and they said the new season. I have no idea, but like I said, we need to get content created. And thank you, Eric, for creating content right now in the dead of the heat, because we're missing content on these on these platforms. That's for sure. And So are you on a hope now that finally things are going to start picking up more, even though you're always busy? Meaning like that we're going to start seeing a lot more content coming out in the next year. You're hoping?
I don't know. It's all up in the air, and I'm just one of the lucky ones. You know, they took film and they gave us digital, and with the digital, everybody with the camera was their own like studio, so they started calling me direct. So about 1996, 7, or 8 in there somewhere, my wife comes to me and says, "Honey, we're getting 30 to 50 offers every day from all over the world. Do you want to go try this?" I said, sure. I thought last couple of months, a year. And that was almost 30 years ago. And so it's just been crazy because everybody's making a movie. And a lot of them want me in them. So it's a lot of fun for me.
What's your favorite character or type of role to play?
Well, the most involved I ever got with a character, because he was way away from me. It's actually 2 characters. They were not like me in how they did anything, how they dressed, how they walked, how they thought, how they kissed. Anything was not like me. And that was Paul Snyder in Star 80 and Paulie Gibboni in the Pope of Greenwich Village. Those 2 guys are so far away from me that I had a great time playing them because I could see them like way at a distance. So they didn't eat me up. I got to play them, and they were both very hard roles to play. And I had very good directors both times. And I had very good co-stars both times. So I was very lucky. And that is a lot of luck, because it's about the circumstance, because you can be a good actor, but if you're not in the right circumstance, you're not going to shine. So it's all about the circumstance and then your input in the circumstance. And I got very lucky because I had Mickey and I had Mariel. And they were both fantastic people and fantastic actors. And I love them both to this day.
Wow. All right. Well, Greg has his final question. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about trust and love before we finish up. Go ahead, Greg, with your final question.
Great. Well, thanks, Eric. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you today, and thanks for coming on. So tell me, Eric.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where are you? It looks so cool. It's a wine cellar.
Yeah.
Cool door like a dungeon.
He has his own wine cellar. That's a
my
green
basement.
Street. It's his basement.
Oh, that's your basement?
Yeah.
Invite me over.
Okay. I'm in Boston.
When you come to Boston, you got to go see Greg Hanna and hang out with him.
I do.
Yeah.
That looks like so much fun where you're at.
It is. It's awesome. Thank you for noticing. So Eric, tell me, what do you feel is the most important thing in life you've ever learned?
Kindness. From my wife, I learned this. You can be nice, you can be polite, but if you're not kind, you're not with the human race. And so many people are not kind, and it's a problem. And I was raised by not necessarily the kindest people in the world. So I understand about love and our need for it. And like I said earlier, all you need is love. And if you have it really, you can go anywhere and be anything. You just have to be giving and loving and kind. And I find my wife taught me that. I've been married for 32 years, and I am as in love with her now as I was when I met her. And she taught me kindness because she is the kindest person I've ever met. My wifey.
Awesome.
See, and how do you think, makes your relationship so good? What do you think?
Well, there are two things that keep a marriage, buddy. And they're the only two things. And they're both equally as important. And they're equally as, well, that's honesty. It's an overused word. So everybody, honesty. Yeah, sure. Yeah, blah. But honesty is hard. All day, every day. It's hard. Honesty and sex. Because you have to talk about everything, and you have to understand everything, and you have to help each other through anything. So those two things are what hold the glue, are the glue. And that's how I feel about it.
Wow. Okay. That is a great point. Now I just got everyone check out Trust and Love, available on VOD on August 13th in selective theaters. Trust and Love, great performance by Eric Roberts, and some really good people. Natasha Wilson did a great job playing her character, and the one that that's the most surprising is again the main character, because he doesn't have he doesn't look exactly like that outside of this of playing that character. But I love the beach bum brother too. He was interesting as well. People need to check out the film. It's funny. It'll make you cry. It'll make you laugh. It was well done. And Eric, and the music's great. And that was probably the thing that made it so great, is the great rock and roll music. And that's why Eric did it, and appreciate it. And thanks again, Eric, for stopping by, and best of luck in the next films and all your other projects. And we'll have you back on again. Thanks, Eric. All right,
thank you.
Simulcast of the Neil Haley Show. And
so good to see you, Greg.
You too. It was wonderful.
Take care. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the Grotto. Greg Hanna, guys, take care.